Life as We Know It with Tom Walton.
A milestone anniversary that has some personal relevance just occurred, and I couldn't let it pass without comment. It was in mid-September of 1972, 50 years ago, that a television show debuted on CBS, which would have a profound effect on the nation during its 9-season run. Even today in syndication, it enjoys a nostalgic popularity. The show was called The Waltons, and even after half a century, most Americans 60 and older can still remember the names of all the characters and the actors who portrayed them. I can, and it's not just because my name is Walton. Foremost among them, of course, was John and Olivia Walton's oldest son, John, known then and forever as John Boy. Played by actor Richard Thomas, John Boy had two goals in life: to become a writer and to experience and understand the world beyond his family's rural Virginia home. Consequently, I always felt a certain kinship with John Boy. While my childhood was not quite as Spartan as his was on Walton's Mountain, I could relate to his curiosity and his affection for writing. Of course, there was one other thing about him. At the conclusion of each episode of The Waltons, he and his siblings would wish each other a night of restful sleep. "Good night, John Boy" became a national catchphrase. To this day, when I'm meeting people for the first time, they often ask, "Hey, how's everything up on the mountain?" Or in parting, they will say simply, "Good night, John Boy." The John Boy character was based on the life of its creator, the late Earl Hamner, Jr. The Waltons ran on CBS for 221 episodes. It was not a sitcom. It was a drama that did not shy away from controversy. Usually the storyline involved an outsider, someone the local folks might not have encountered before. One show featured a Jewish family fleeing Nazi persecution. Another, a black boxer. Another, a movie actress who was a heavy drinker. There were lessons to be learned by the good people of Walton's Mountain, and by extension, the millions watching at home. As a result, the show was a delicate mixture of sometimes over-the-top sweetness and heavy messages about tolerance and understanding of human differences. Usually in the middle of it all was the issue of faith. Olivia Walton was a devout Baptist, but her husband John was not much of a churchgoer. Still, there was an episode in which John Sr. showed up at church one Sunday to defend a pastor who had become intoxicated. John Sr. quoted the Bible, "Let him who is without sin cast the first stone." Though the show aired in the 1970s, its time frame was 1932 to the end of World War II, and was very much a reflection of the Depression era and war years. Through the often difficult issues the show explored came a sense of inherent goodness. There are some actors that are so identified with their iconic roles that we cannot see them portraying somebody else. Alan Alda as Hawkeye Pierce on MASH, for example. Richard Thomas is in that category. He's 71 now and playing Atticus Finch in a touring production of To Kill a Mockingbird. But to me, and probably to you, he will always be John Boy.
Life as We Know It is written and hosted by Tom Walton and is a production of WGTE Public Media. Life as We Know It with Tom Walton can be heard on WGTE FM 91 every Monday afternoon during All Things Considered at 5:44 p.m. Or hear past episodes at wgte.org/life.